Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I want to do something a little different. I was actually going through my makeup and organizing it and getting rid of some older makeup, things that have been discontinued, and also going through my samples or deluxe size sample products that I usually save for when I'm traveling. But I decided I had enough products to create a full face of sample makeup, and I thought it would be fun. Now, I have used makeup like this before if I'm only going away like overnight and I don't want to take full-size products. I use these quite a bit. And also if I have deluxe size cleansers or skincare, I use those for traveling, even if it's for a longer period of time. But I think these come in handy. The ones that I don't use that often are the ones that come like these little, that you barely get any product in here. But this is the Victoria Beckham, the concealer pen. It comes in a pen, but you get a little bit in here. And I actually have used this, really enjoy it, and I find there's enough product for both of my under eyes. The only thing that I have on my face right now is my brows. I really didn't have any deluxe size or samples, so I'm using the e.l.f. This is a micro fine brow pencil, the new one they released. And then I did have a deluxe size of the 24-hour brow by Benefit. So I already did my brows, and I also put a little bit of eye primer on, and this is the one that I get from Amazon. So that's the only product, and I do have a little bit of lip balm on my lips. This is a deluxe size from Edam, and this is in the shade Boba Bounce, and you guys know that I absolutely love these. We're going to start with a primer. I do have a little deluxe sample from Milk Makeup, and this is the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. It just looks like a creamy primer, and I dropped the lid, so I'll have to find that later. And I'm mainly going to put it around my T-zone where I get the shiniest. Our weather, it has been warm for the last few days. Not uncomfortable, and in the evenings and in the mornings it's really nice. But I would say high 70s, which is fine. I take it. I really didn't mind the cold days that we had. When you never get cold, you kind of appreciate the few cold days that you do get. So I'm going to do the concealer now to let that primer kind of sit there for a second. So this is an L2, which I guess is light 2, and I have used this shade before, and it really does not bring much, but I found that it brought enough for me to use under my eyes. Basically use the one on the little, like one of these on one eye, and then the one on the other eye. But this is such a thin concealer, and I feel like it really spreads really nice. Now, it's a medium coverage concealer. I wouldn't say it's in any way, shape, or form a full coverage concealer, but I think especially for an everyday concealer, it works really, really well. It gives me plenty of coverage. I don't have to have 100% of my dark circles covered every day. I usually try to put as little product as possible. I like to put a little bit in my little corner right there where it gets really dark. But you can see the difference between one eye and the other. It is not perfect, but I think it gave me enough coverage. And now let's go to the other side. This under eye is worse than the other one because I have a dark spot like right there. Right where I have the darkest part of my under eye. So it's like adding insult to injury. And I have been doing it with my finger because I think that if I use a brush, it wouldn't be enough product. I think that a brush always kind of eats up a little bit of the product. So I'd rather just use my finger and get as much as possible. And just do a little extra right there. Now I feel that if I use like a corrector underneath this, it would definitely improve on the coverage. But what I liked about this concealer, it looked really, really pretty all day. But I mean, you can still see dark circles, okay? There's only so much I can do there. And If I had a little more of this, I could probably build it up a little more because it's thin enough that I think I could. But we're going to leave it like that now. So I'm going to use a sample. Now, I love these samples. You get plenty of product. This is the Born This Way Soft Matte Foundation. And I'm going to use this, and let's see, light beige, vanilla. I think we're going to go for the light beige. This one right here. This definitely gives you enough product for you to, you know, get a decent amount of foundation on your face. This is like a medium coverage foundation, but it does a great job. I'm gonna grab a little more. I mean, I usually have product left over. I would say they probably give you like equivalent to maybe 1.5, 2 pumps. But when you get those little peel off, it's like, what am I supposed to do with that? That's not even gonna cover half of my face. I don't need much on my forehead. I don't have a lot of hyperpigmentation on my forehead or anything like that. So I just put very little on my forehead. Just enough so that my entire face looks evened out. I'm going to add a little more in my problem areas, which is like right here on my cheeks. And right here where I have that dark spot. But as you can see, it does a decent job of covering it. And I think the shade works for me. Okay, I think that's all we're going to do. And as you can see, there's still product left in there. I probably have enough in there to use it again, but I mean, that'll be kind of messy. So for powder, I have a little teeny weeny Laura Mercier. And this is the, okay, I cannot read that, but it's a translucent one. It's the one that is talc free. Now, what I hate about this is, you know, it's kind of hard to dip a brush in there, but we're going to do our best. This powder, I find that is nice and blurring. It does a really nice job on your pores. This powder has actually gone traveling with me before, so this is nothing new. And I just realized that I have some cream products to put on my face, but hey, we're going to see how well they work with powder. I didn't put a lot of powder anyway. As you guys saw, I really didn't put a lot under my eyes. I feel like with this concealer, you really don't need it. So it's just whatever was left over on my brush. I kind of went over it, but I really didn't powder a lot under my eyes. I don't think I need it with this concealer. Okay, so for my face, I have the Westman Atelier, and this is a little sample, and it brings a contour, blush, and a highlighter. The contour is in Biscuit, the blush is in Petal, and the highlighter is in Lit. I do own this contour and blush and minis. I do not own the highlighter. I have not purchased that. This is a pretty pricey brand, but I feel that you can actually, they have minis, and that minis will last you a long time. That's what I own. And it really does a good job. So you get quite a bit of product in here. Again, I think this is something that you can use more than once. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to be losing even more product by doing that. But I feel that if you have a mini, I feel that you get plenty of product. I'm going to use a Sephora 56 to apply that. And this is not too great. This is not one of those contours that is going to make you look like your face is dirty. It's going to go straight in the, because I'm losing a lot by applying it to my hand and then going to the brush. But I feel like it just has enough gray in there to be a contour. But usually when I use this, I don't use a separate bronzer with it. This is the only product that I use. And then I'm just going to go over my forehead with whatever is left over on the brush. Add a little more. Very little. But you can see that it doesn't look super dark or grayish or anything like that. It's very, very pretty. And I usually, if I have to repurchase it, I'll wait till Sephora has a sale and I get another mini. I've purchased the mini a couple of times, but it takes me a while to get through it. Okay, now we're going to use the blush. And again, this is in the shade Petal. You can see it's solid. So I just wiped that same brush and I'm going to go straight in the little container and just pick some up. This is a very pretty shade. It's very neutral. It's not super pinky. It's just a very pretty rose shade. Their makeup is gorgeous. Pricey, but gorgeous. And sometimes you can get them on different websites. I believe that Credo is one of the websites that carries Westman Atelier, and sometimes they have like 25% off sales. I don't own too many of their products. I own a couple of lipsticks, and I think just the contour and blushes. Never even tried the highlighter before, so, but I think that's pretty. I think that looks very pretty and natural. I'm just gonna go around the edges with my foundation brush, but not a lot. I don't feel like it needs it. All right, we're gonna do the eyes and then we'll go back and do the highlighter. But look, I have plenty left over. I'm not gonna keep it because I do own these products already, so this is just asking for a mess. If you guys hear noise in the background, my husband is doing some work in the yard, so it's possible that that noise can carry over. This is real. We're keeping it real. For my eyes, I'm going to use this Ilia. These are eyeshadow crayons or pencils. They're called the Eye Stylist Shadow Sticks. That's what they're, eyeshadow sticks. I do own quite a few of them, full size, but I decided that I wanted to go ahead and just use this today. This is Patina, Venetian, Flax, and Jubilee. So I think I want to use the green one. That looks pretty, the Patina. Again, this is a solid product. It's not like super creamy, but it is creamy when you grab it with your finger. And normally the way that I use these, I just draw on my lid. Now you don't have to prep your lids for this. I did put some eye primer on, and I find that I don't have a problem using eye primer or a little bit of concealer underneath. And the reason I did is mainly so that I can blank out my brow bone, but not because this actually needs it. But they're very, very, very pretty, very beautiful, easy to wear. They don't crease, they last all day. And they have like a little bit of a sheen to them, but I would say that it's not like glittery or super glowy. They just give you like a really pretty finished look. So I'm going to take this brush and just go over the crease, the edges, just to blend that in. But that's it. See, it went on really, really quick. I'm going to swatch it for you. I have enough that I can swatch it for you so that you can see how pretty it is. And you can use this. I mean, you can put like, if you travel with it, you can put like tape over it and use it several times. That's what that color looks like. Very pretty. I'm going to take my foundation brush and just go over the edge here. I went a little too far with my finger. You want to clean that up. Okay, and I'm just going to blend. And like I said, I usually just go in with a crayon and then just blend it with a brush. And they're super, super easy to do. I'm going to take one of the lighter colors now. I'm going to go with this one right here, which is called Venetian. And I'm going to go in my inner corner with it. Let's see what... I've never really done that. I usually just do it as a one eyeshadow look. And I'm done. But I'm going to grab a brush. Just go in the inner corner. I don't think you're going to see it that much. I thought it was lighter, but it's not. You can see just a little bit. It's not light enough to make a difference. Just let me blend between the two. Let me grab a little more of the green and just go over the edge right here. So I'm going to do there. Okay, I'm going to grab the highlighter now. And again, this is in the shade Lit. And I never used this before. So like I said, I don't know how creamy this is. We have to see what's the best way to apply this. It is like a white, but I'm thinking it's going to be, yeah, it's just going to be one of those balmy highlighters. It feels super, super nice. So I think I'm just going to use my finger. Oh, it's like iridescent. when you put it on your face, kind of looks like a little iridescent. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I will move you guys up so that you can see if you can notice it. It's not that noticeable once you blend it. When you first apply it on your face, you can see that it's a little iridescent. But once you blend it, you really can't see it. I just purchased a highlighter stick. I have some Macy's money, and I take advantage of like Macy's money, or when I have Ulta rewards, and that's when I try to buy my luxury makeup like Chanel, Dior, things like that. And I had some Macy's money, so I purchased I'm gonna grab a little more of that blush. I purchased a Chanel highlighter stick. I have not tried it yet, but it looks beautiful. But it's something like this. It's like one of those balmy, and I love those, and those are so easy to travel with because they're in a stick. You don't have to worry about them spilling or making a mess. They're easy to travel. So that looks pretty. I like that. I really enjoy that. So for mascara, I'm going to use, this is something that I just received as a gift with purchase. You know how with Sephora, when you make a purchase, you can pick like a deluxe size sample. This is the YSL Lash Latex Mascara, and I wanted to try it, but I really didn't want to buy it. But this is definitely a very nice size. I don't know if this is a full mini, but it's 0.06 fluid ounces or 2 mLs. But this is enough for me to try several times and see if I like it. This is the first time I try it. I really don't want to spend any more money right now on high-end mascaras. I have the one from Lancome that I haven't even reviewed with you guys yet. But I was happy to see that I could pick this and try it. So this is supposed to be curling, supposed to hold your curl. I didn't even tell you what it does. This is lengthening and lift and sculpting mascara. So I also like it when I get volume on my lashes. I want it all. I want length, volume, curl. And there's some mascaras that give it to you, give you everything you need or want. But you know, some people prefer length, some people prefer volume. Now this is doing a very nice job separating the lashes. They don't look clumpy at all. I'm seeing a little bit of length. Oh my gosh, I just got like a big old clump on my lid. I think I can. Okay, I'm gonna let the rest of it dry before I try to remove it. That was half of the product in the tube. So I think that looks pretty good for one coat. Let me do a second coat on both eyes and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did 2 coats on the upper lashes, 1 coat on my lower lash line. I will leave in a pinned comment if they smudged on my lower lash line. Most mascaras do. So even if this one does, I'm not going to hold it against it because I think it's because I moisturize and prep my under eyes so much. Because I really don't have oily under eyes or oily eyelids. But I'll let you know if it flakes or if it smudges. But I think it's pretty. I think it gave me real pretty lashes. Do you need to spend the money on something like this? On this kind of mascara? No. But I did want to try it. Some of you guys do like high-end products, so I like to try those also. But I think that you can find plenty of amazing mascaras at the drugstore. Essence, for example, has amazing drugstores from the Lash Princess. Yeah, they have beautiful ones. Okay, I will link them below. But you really don't need high-end mascara. Let me take off my lip balm. I'm going to use for my lips these little samples. These are from Hourglass. These are the Phantom Volumizing Glossy Balm from Hourglass. And I have several shades. I have Sense, Mist, Slip, and Haze. Those are the 4 shades. Now, all of them look like it would be one that would work for me. I think I'm going to go with Slip. And it's cute because they bring a little applicator with them. So we're going to try it to do it with the applicator first. And then I did bring a lip liner. I did not have a deluxe size lip liner. So we're going to go with this one here. You know what? I think it's going to be hard for me to get to that one. So I'm going to go with this one because it's at the end and I can get to it without ruining the other shades. So I can try those in the future because it's like they're not individually perforated. That's what it looks like. Okay, so here's a little applicator. We're gonna, ooh, kind of nice and soft. It looked like it was gonna be a little solid. That's pretty. It's more like a gloss. Glossy balm. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's pretty. This is the darkest shade and it's not very dark. It looks a lot darker in there than it does on my lips, but I think it's pretty. I like it. So I'm gonna use the Morphe, this is cherry cola? No, yeah, berry cola. I always want to say cherry cola for some reason. So I just did enough to kind of make it a little more, my lips a little more structured, but that is a beautiful shade. It feels a little cooling, but very, very, very mild. If I were to say from 1 to 10, I would say about a 2. I can barely feel this. It just feels a little cooling, minty, but it doesn't taste minty, but it's very, very, very mild. If you guys are familiar with Lawless, this is even less than Lawless. So I think that even if you're sensitive to lip plumpers, this is not going to bother you. This is like next to nothing, okay? So this is even less than the Buxom. And to me, the Buxom are pretty mild. So I think this is pretty. Let me know what you think. I think my whole look turned out very nice. And this is something that if you were to just go away, I've done it before. Like if we've gone to Miami for an overnighter, I've taken products like this before because I can just throw it away and I can fit everything, including my skincare, in a little makeup bag. I don't need to take like a humongous makeup bag with me. So this becomes very convenient. I even brought a little sample perfume. This is from KLE and this is the Sparkling Lychee. Sparkling Lychee. Let's put it on my hand first in case I don't like it. I don't want to have it close to my nose. Not sure. Hold on. It's okay. It's not something that I think I would go buy, but it smells okay. I thought these are also things that I take with me when I travel. If I'm just traveling for a couple of, like if I'm going for a week or something like that, I'll take a couple of these and that's enough. Alright you guys, so this is my completed look. Let me know, do you guys get any samples? What do you do with them? Now sometimes if I have giveaways, I have a lot of samples. I do include some in my giveaways. I don't keep them all because I don't use them that often that I need to keep that many. But if, you know, something like this, I think it's great to have because I would just keep the backs to these and tape them and I can use them for a couple of days. I had a lot of product left over. Now I feel kind of bad that I'm not going to be able to use the highlighter, but I'm not going to be keeping those because it's kind of messy. And the lipsticks, I still have 3 that I can use, and I actually have been wondering about this formula. It feels very nice. It feels very hydrating. They don't feel goopy or thick. I think it has plenty of pigment. I think it gave me nice coloring. I mean, even with an applicator like this, that is not the best way to apply your lipstick, but I think it did a really good job. So I think I'm going to wash this. I'm actually going to wash it and keep it so that I can try the other ones and cut this one out because this is prescription for disaster. But anyways, yeah, I like it. Alright you guys, I hope that you enjoy this. I thought this was going to be fun, just trying to use some products that I normally don't use or just sit there for a while, or sometimes I give them to my sister, my niece, so they can try out different products. But I just thought it'd be fun to create a look with some makeup that sometimes, I'm sure some people probably even throw them away, and I really think that that's a shame. These are really nice. If you ever get any of the Ilia ones, they're really, really nice, and I really think that if you tape it, they will dry out quickly, I think, if you don't take care of them. But definitely you can use them more than once. But these pencils are really, really nice. If you can ever get them on sale, they are amazing for traveling also. I really have gotten to a point in my life where I love liquid eyeshadows and cream eyeshadows and eyeshadow pencils because I just feel they're easy. A lot of times I don't feel like, you know, creating a whole look with 3, 4, 5 shades. And yeah, this is just something that I can put together, and it looks like, you know, I took the time to make an effort to look nice, but it wasn't a lot of work. All right, you guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love to invite you to do so. It is free, and I would like to have you as part of my community. I really do appreciate the time that you spend here. For those of you that come back each and every time, thank you so, so much. It really means the world to me. I love you guys, and I will see you on my next video. I will have all these products linked below. I love you. Bye. Mwah.